Utilitarianism. Examining philosophical perspectives, influential thinkers, and contemporary relevance. Introduction. Utilitarianism is a consequentialist ethical theory that seeks to maximize overall happiness and well-being. This theory has had a profound impact on moral philosophy and continues to shape ethical discussions to this day. In this comprehensive article, we will explore the fundamental principles of utilitarianism, examine the views of influential philosophers, identify the main thought leader behind it, and analyze its standing in the modern world. 1. Understanding utilitarianism. Utilitarianism, often associated with the classical utilitarianism formulated by Jeremy Bentham and later refined by John Stuart Mill, posits that the morality of an action should be judged by its consequences and the amount of happiness or pleasure it generates. According to utilitarianism, an action is morally right if it produces the greatest amount of overall happiness for the greatest number of people, and wrong if it fails to do so. The theory promotes a pragmatic approach to ethics, focusing on the greatest net benefit to society. 1. Jeremy Bentham, pioneer of utilitarianism. Jeremy Bentham, 1748–1832, an English philosopher and social reformer, is widely regarded as the main thought leader behind utilitarianism. In his influential work, An Introduction to the Principles of Morals and Legislation, 1789, Bentham proposed the principle of utility as the basis of moral decision-making. He argued that actions should be judged by their ability to promote happiness and reduce suffering, introducing the concept of the greatest happiness principle. 1. John Stuart Mill, expanding and refining utilitarianism. John Stuart Mill, 1806–1873, an English philosopher and economist, further developed utilitarianism, expanding upon Bentham's ideas. In his work, Utilitarianism, 1861, Mill emphasized the distinction between higher and lower pleasures. He believed that intellectual and moral pleasures were superior to physical and sensual ones, advocating for the prioritization of actions that promote long-term, sustainable happiness and personal development. 1. Critiques and counterarguments. Utilitarianism has faced various criticisms throughout history, challenging its practicality and ethical implications. Critics argue that the theory neglects individual rights and can lead to the suppression of minority interests for the sake of majority happiness. Additionally, the quantification and measurement of happiness and the difficulty of predicting long-term consequences have been points of contention. 1. Modern utilitarianism. Utilitarianism continues to be a significant ethical framework in modern times, influencing fields such as bioethics, public policy, and environmental ethics. Contemporary utilitarian thinkers, like Peter Singer and R.M. Hare, have further developed and refined the theory. A. Peter Singer, an influential contemporary utilitarian philosopher, Singer extends the principles of utilitarianism to address ethical issues such as animal rights, global poverty, and effective altruism. He emphasizes the importance of impartiality and expanding the sphere of moral consideration beyond human beings. B. R.M. Hare. Hare contributed to the development of rule utilitarianism, which seeks to create rules that, when followed, promote the greatest happiness for society as a whole. This approach attempts to address some of the challenges faced by ACT utilitarianism, such as the need for precise calculations in decision-making. Conclusion. Utilitarianism, as an ethical theory, continues to generate vigorous debates and discussions in contemporary moral philosophy. While Jeremy Bentham laid its foundations and John Stuart Mill refined its principles, utilitarianism has evolved through the contributions of numerous philosophers over time. Critiques highlighting the need to protect individual rights and the difficulty of accurately measuring happiness have led to the development of alternative approaches within the utilitarian framework. Nonetheless, utilitarianism remains relevant in shaping moral,